This video is to demonstrate how to receipt a commission payment back from an agent once you've paid a commission out, or it was a net payment and the commission was withheld and the person withdraws, and you've got to give them a credit note, and then you have to basically get the payment back from the agent and receipt it. So to start this process, we're going to start with the student. And so in this case, I'm going to load this student up. And the first thing we're going to do is just confirm that the actual commission has been paid out. So to do that, I'm actually going to go to agents and look at the enrolled course enrollments for this particular agent. And because I loaded the student first and the course enrollment was loaded, and this course enrollment is that agent, it's automatically loaded the agent. And so this is my person here, and this is the invoice, and you can see there's a course fee 1 and a course fee 2. I'm actually going to refund the course fee 1 because in this case, I know that this is a commission that was from a gross payment that has already been paid out. So next I'm going to go to accounting, and I'm going to go to invoices, and this is this person's invoices, and I'm actually going to create a credit note. So you can create a credit note if the invoice has been paid and it's in paid status and there's no amount owing on it. So I'm going to say create credit notice, and it says, are you sure? And I'm going to say yes. So what this does is basically creates a direct copy of the previous invoice, but as a credit notice. And then what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to say pay invoice because I want to pay this invoice off. And I basically can't apply any payments, but the good thing about it gives me this default little screen down here with everything already filled out with exactly what has to happen with all the correct refund amounts all set and everything done. So, and because this is a gross one, I'm going to say gross payment no. So I'm just going to say save payment, and that will now give me a payment to apply. I can't apply this to this invoice because, as we know, they must be set to sent status. So I'm now going to quickly set this to sent status, and then I'm going to apply. So now we have actually done a credit note for that previous gross course fee, which has already had commissions paid out to an agent. So now what I'm going to do to receipt the money coming back from the agent, so this process is assuming that you do have the money already from the agent, and you're just doing a receipt to confirm that particular amount. So I'm actually now going to go to agents and go to finances and say I'm actually going to do a return invoice. So this brings me to this screen, and I can basically now so this is also previous commission return invoices. I'm going to say a new one. So I've now created a new return invoice, gives me my invoice header as usual, and actually says these are all the actual unit enrollments, not invoiced for this agent. So, but I'm actually going to untick that because we don't want any of them. And what we do want is for this last person, you can see here, this is the credit refund amount that we can actually refund for that previous one, because we've put this on a credit note. So I'm actually going to look at all this stuff and go, yep, that looks good. And I'm going to say save invoice. So now that will give me a credit note invoice with a total amount applied and that that item on there, and you can see it's a credit note amount refunded for that commission amount for that particular course fee. If we wanted to adjust these, we can. We actually end up adjusting the amounts on the credit note, and they come in here adjusted as well. So we can adjust all the amounts as required, and that's just an extra step. But in this example, I'm just keeping it really simple. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to set this to sent because as we know, we can only apply payments to sent ones. So I'm going to go set status to sent. So that's now in sent status, ready to go. And then as we have done previously, I'm just going to go actions and say create payment from invoice total. So that is now going to bring me to the payment screen, and you can see it's a commission return payment from an agent back to the institution. I'm going to say there's no GST on this to keep things simple, and now I'm just going to do save payment. Okay, so now that we have actually done that, we're going to say pay return invoices, the same process, exactly the same process as if we were doing just a normal commission payment. We're going to hit edit here and we're going to say, yep, this is our payment, matches our invoice, tick that, apply payment, and that is now in the system. Also, if we go have a look at the unit enrollments for this, we've also now got all the links for the parent-child relationships to say, hey, this was originally invoiced in accounting, it was then paid out on this commission invoice and then refunded with this commission invoice, and all these particular invoices are then linked together. So that includes the demonstration of doing a return payment from commission payment from an agent. The final thing to learn is what happens if you credit note a invoice before it has been sent on a commission invoice, and that's the last thing we need to learn. That concludes this video. I hope it helps.